Alright guys, welcome back to Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming. Unfortunately, we were not able to get...
Guess what's your names again?
to get the another match for you guys, previous one, due to the fact that they there was only one match left and they were in the middle of Game 2 and it finished up on Game 3, so outside of that, we have Ryan Danley and Jimmy Nutter here. I don't know what Ryan O'Loughlin's doing. I think he was just charger badging it up. So Ryan Danley's going to lead off with Concealed Courtyard into a Thoughtseize, taking a Blighted Agent.
The Blighted Agent.
And Jimmy has a very strong hand.
Yeah, wow, that was the greatest Thoughtseize ever right there.
So,
it's just...
So, for those of you that stuck around with us, this is our last round here at Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming. It'll probably also be our last game of the evening, just because of the way things are wrapping up for us this evening. So, Jimmy's going to go ahead and fetch with a breeding pool with a Misty, I believe it was, to get a breeding pool and shuffle up. This is all before his turn, so he doesn't have to shock himself. Hopefully he draws another creature and this turns into somewhat of a game. But I believe Ryan Danley has a Path to Exile in his hand.
Yeah, for some reason his name's not showing up, even though it's in our thing.
I'll try saving it again and see if that happens.
There we go.
Alrighty. So, like it says, Ryan Danley versus James Nutter, also known as Jimmy Nuts. Here comes an Inquisition.
Inquisition, just dismantling the hand.
Yeah, so Jimmy has basically all the protection possible in his hand. It's going to take the Blossoming Defense. It's probably the better particular one.
Well, he's got a Dryad Arbor. It's not Infect.
You can win via damage.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
you can do it.
It's definitely hard mode, but so it looks like Ryan Danley shocked that. Yep. To play a Gideon Champion,
oh boy,
or Gideon Ally of Zendikar. Excuse me, not a Champion of Justice. That's a different type of Planeswalker.
That's the bad Gideon.
Bad is subjective.
That's just what they call
That's a
him.
Pokemon that does not look like a 2/2 Night Ally.
It's a 2/2. Is that Glade?
I don't
Technically a knight-like Pokemon.
If that's what that is, then I guess I can accept it. So Jimmy may be firing up the old Distortion Strike.
He's going for it.
Yeah, well, I think he's just going to kill the Gideon here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jimmy goes ahead and mutagenic growths to kill the Gideon, which is probably a good idea here.
I mean, yeah, that Gideon can just get real nasty if you let him hang around too long.
Another 2 damage here. So, Distortion Strike, target my Dryad Arbor with the rebound. So Jimmy has another land. That's pretty good here. Dryad Arbor may have to be getting... so he couldn't block because of Distortion Strike. Distortion Strikes gives +1/+0 and unblockable to the creature.
Yep, and then has rebound.
Has rebound, so you got to
rebound.
So you got to recast it. So now this is a 2/1 Dryad Arbor again. So
going for 2, looks like. Unless
yep.
Is he thinking he might?
So I think
become immense. He is.
So he's going to become immense. Ryan Danley has a path here, and a Fatal Push.
Oh boy.
So.
And
there's the Fatal Push.
Oh, so, he's got the Vines.
Well, he's going to Vines kick. I think he should just possibly just...
So, going to Path in response.
So he's just going to Vines. And then he's going to Path again. So Jimmy's going to have to use his other Vines to protect it.
Silly. Alright, what is this Dryad Arbor up to now?
So the Dryad Arbor is still just a 2/1, I believe. Or no, it's a...
No, because he kicked the first one, didn't he?
Well, no. So he didn't. So...
But no, he became a menace.
So it's
an 8?
Yep, became an 8.
An 8-7?
An 8-7,
yeah.
Yep. And Jimmy's basically empty-handed now. But Ryan Danley also is basically empty-handed, so...
Yeah.
So this Night Ally might have to stay back on defense now. That's a Serum Visions and a Snapcaster. That allows him to go a little bit aggro.
Doesn't look like he's got mana for it, though. He doesn't have a blue source right now.
He has a Hallowed Fountain and he has the fetch.
He can fetch, yeah, that's true, yeah.
So, but he doesn't want to leave... Oh, so Jimmy... Oh, he has... Okay, so he has 2 cards in hand. I believe he drew a land there. And the attack for 1. So, Snapcaster could snap back and go get Path or... You know, whatever, but... So, Ryan's just going to let it happen. Here comes a fetch.
Going on to 6.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
So Jimmy's definitely in hard mode here, but
well, yeah.
I think Ryan Danley's still kind of in control.
He is an Infect deck without any Infect right now. I'd say that's definitely pretty hard.
So them losing Ataxian Probe hurts them a little bit, I think, in a sense, but it doesn't hurt them terribly bad. It just that means they can't have they know exactly when to go for it, like
right.
So
they lose a little bit of the prediction element.
Right. Like, okay, I know I can go for this because I know you don't have any spells. No, I don't think he's just going to leave it up or whatever until... it looks like we missed a point of damage somewhere for Jimmy. So, this may be a Serum Visions or the Snap Push now. Yep.
Didn't quite catch what was in Jimmy's hand.
So Jimmy has a land and another Become Immense.
Oh boy.
So I believe that's a Blossoming Defense. But a turn too late.
Turn too late. Oh
but
boy.
Jimmy may be playing a second Dryad Arbor that he can fetch out with this Windswept Heath.
He might, yeah. I mean, he's definitely not out of it yet. He could draw into a Glistener Elf or Blighted Agent, something.
So he needs the Blighted Agent for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Soren's going to make this a little bit more difficult.
This one makes a Vampire token, right?
No, this is the one that gives +1/+0 and lifelink until end of turn.
Oh, jeez.
So that's going to bring Jimmy down to 4, and so I don't know if Jimmy's only playing the one Dryad Arbor. If he is playing the only one Dryad Arbor, that does make it a little bit more difficult. But if he's playing 2, I think he may have been able to like untap. No, I guess that's only 11. So he had to draw exactly another pump spell.
Yeah.
One more pump spell, and Jimmy would have had it if he had the other Dryad Arbor.
Right. Rough draw for Jimmy. He had a great hand. Got picked apart by discard and just couldn't come back from it.
Yeah, really, it was just one discard effect that kind of ruined it there for Jimmy. He was a little bit all in on the Blighted Agent.
Yeah.
And they don't play any...
That's the thing about Infect, and that's why I'm not a huge fan of Infect either. You have to like play that all in, and when you stumble on that, I feel like it makes it pretty hard to rally a comeback.
So as we go to game 2 here, what do we play in Modern? Well, I played Prison Strategy, so red-white prison, red-green prison.
Yeah.
Any sort of prison effect. Right now I also play Blue-Red Storm. Having a lot of fun with that deck. I've also played 8-Rack. I've played Jund before in the past. Didn't really like it. I've played all sorts of things. Kurt, what do you play?
I guess Ponza right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so Kurt's actually proxying up Ponza to try to get a feel for the deck.
Yeah.
This is kind of his first real foray to building a modern deck of his own. Ponza's a lot of fun. I've played red-white Ponza. I've played red-green Ponza. I prefer the red-white version personally, but that's because you get access to like Magus of the Tabernacle and some of the other prison effects.
Yeah, my background before I moved here and started working at Four Horsemen was really in limited. So I did a lot of limited back home, a lot of drafting, couple sealed pools. Not a huge fan of sealed though, personally. Definitely a big draft guy though.
And I am the opposite. I don't like limited really at all, except for cube. Because I'm building my newest cube right now. I'm building a Modern Masters cube, so I'll have cards from all 3 Modern Masters sets in it.
How exciting!
So it's kind of cool because you get to kind of build like basically every single archetype in Modern. The only thing you're missing out on is some of the newer cards that have like made some of these sets a little bit better. But you still get Splinter Twin combo.
Yeah.
You know, had Pod not been banned before a Modern Masters thing, there would have been Pod in the format. Unfortunately, we don't get that sort of thing. But you know, when the next Modern Masters after that, like I have to make some cuts and put some new stuff in. So as it evolves, I think it'll be a really fun, just overall thing to keep upgrading.
Are they doing Modern Master every 2 years? Is that right?
So usually it's like from the last one, it was 2 in a row. So 14 and 15. Then they did.
See, I thought it was 13 and 15.
Maybe it'd been 13 and 15, and then they did. After that, they did Eternal Masters.
Oh, yeah.
And then now we have the set again, so. Okay, so you're in Madison. Okay. Yeah, we don't really have any drafting there.
Sadly, not much of a draft scene in these parts. Really,
there used to be a long time ago.
Yeah.
A long time ago, I'm saying, 5 years ago, which... that feels like forever ago when you think about like living in a college town.
Yeah.
Here in Morgantown. So
people come and go pretty frequently. So.
Yeah, like you make a lot of friends and then like they're moving in a couple years and you're just like, oh, well, that stinks.
Yeah.
So Jimmy's going down to 6. Ryan Danley looks pretty happy with a 7. I see a Thoughtseize. I think I saw an Inquisition. Kurt, turning your head like that doesn't work while we're watching it on the screen. I know,
right? I'm trying to like, come on, man, show me what you got.
So yeah, we used to have a lot of drafters, and the drafters just kind of quit Magic basically right around at the end of RTR block. So the draft format became pretty bad, and people just didn't feel like drafting those sets. I mean, you find, even in RTR, you find a pack rat, and you're probably going to win the match. Yeah. Like, you're probably going to 3-0 your pod.
What came after RTR? Was that Theros?
Yeah, Theros block. Theros block was pretty bad. So Jimmy keeps his 6. Scries to the top. Looks like he's got 2 Pendelhavens, a fetch. So he left it on top, but I guess it didn't really matter since he was already planning on fetching. So I guess that's okay. And it doesn't really change exactly what he was doing. So maybe he should have let off with a Pendelhaven if he wanted to keep that card actually on top. But I could be wrong in exactly what it was. So
we'll never know. Not unless we ask Jimmy.
Yep. So, yes, Theros was hot garbage, as I like to say.
I mean, the gods are cool. It's a cool concept.
Right, the gods were cool. And then...
And there's going to be new ones. Oh, man, I can't wait for Amonkhet. It's going to be so
I'm kind of hoping that they're not
dope.
that they're not enchantments. What if they're artifacts?
We have talked about this before, if they're going to do artifact gods instead of enchantment gods. Who knows? People think they might bring devotion back. I'm not 100% on that either.
I don't like the idea of devotion.
Yeah. I mean, I get why people are saying, oh, the only gods we've had are enchantment creatures with devotion. That does not mean that the god creature type has to exist within those conditions. And we'll see that with Amonkhet, whether that's going to be the case or not. So...
Yep. All right, so that's gonna bring Ryan down to 3 Infect. I don't have a particular way of marking it, so
Oh, it's kind of hard to see on the thing there too.
if they're just basic creatures, I don't think that'd be I don't think that'd be a whole lot of fun if they're just regular old Joe Schmo creatures.
Yeah, they'll be. I think it would be neat to see some like an original mechanic.
Yeah, so like I think artifacts would be kind of cool. So I don't know. Let's see if I can do something here to
Notify the Infect. Yeah.
see if that does anything. We're still working on some new things for the stream here, so we're gonna pump up to 3 Infect, I guess. And Jimmy's going to fetch, bringing him down to 16.
Down there. I wonder if that's Lucas.
It may be Lucas.
Maybe I can tell him to push the Infect thing down a little bit.
He was also hanging out somewhere else for a little bit, so there's a groundswell. So the groundswell will give it +4/+4. So that's it.
5 and
Counter squall.
Squall.
Okay, so that counters it and
Puts Jimmy to 14.
yep. So I think Jimmy was actually just going for the kill there.
So still 1-1. Now
So
he
he's
kicks
gonna,
it.
So now his vines would kick. So this is another 4. So this, yep, that's 10. All right.
What's the pump on vines kicked?
4.
Oh, it's that high?
Yep.
Wow. Pretty good. A lot better than I was thinking.
So
All right.
So Jimmy ties this up. He just needed 1 infect creature.
And that's why Infect was a terrible idea, and so are poison counters. That's my thoughts. And I know that Morrow loves poison counters. He talks about it all the time.
Poison counters have been around for basically almost the entire existence of Magic.
Yes, but they were never broken until Infect existed. I'm fine with
right. I mean, that's fine that like they were never broken. Like I'm okay with them not being broken. But like
I was fine with poison when it was like the scorpion or the mosquito, and it was like poisonous 1, poisonous 2,
or the sliver.
Yeah.
Now the slivers were kind of interesting because like you give them double strike or
and you could stack their poisonous would stack. So that was a way you could do that. But just making Infect, like making a creature will do as much poison as its like power, and then giving it the ability, printing a literal creature that can kill you in one shot, and making you be able to pump somebody and kill them in a single swing with Infect, I just think is anti-fun. I'm not a fan of it. So, but that's my opinion. So,
I think like cards like Blightsteel are a mistake.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Blightsteel is just
indestructible. 11/11. Trampling Infector.
I mean, the only other creature that can literally one-shot you on the face of the card is Merit Lage, which you have to work for. You have to work to get a Merit Lage, unless you cheated in somehow. But...
So, like, you get a turn 2.
Right.
You could also get a turn 2 Blightsteel.
Yeah.
Even a turn 1 Blightsteel, really. I guess it is theoretically possible to get a turn 1 Merit Lage.
Walk me through that. I'm not sure if I know.
Okay. So, you have to have 2 Mox Diamonds.
Okay.
You have to have an Urborg.
Okay.
Well, I guess you don't even need an Urborg. Yeah, okay, so you have to have 2 Mox Diamonds and your Dark Depths. Then you play your Vampire Hexmage.
Okay.
Sacrifice it. Remove all the counters from your Dark Depths.
Hexmage only 2 mana?
Yep.
Oh, man, I thought it was more than that. Wow.
Yep. So, that is the turn 1 Merit Lage that you can get.
I guess you could do that with like
it's the Turbo Depths
too. Like...
Yeah. Well, I mean that's in Vintage, so.
Yeah.
But in Legacy though, where Dark Depths is typically seen play, that's the fastest I know of that you can get it. Is a turn 1.
Turn 1 Merit Lage is pretty scary, but
so it looks like Ryan went down to 6.
Is not,
Path or Swords.
Yeah, like
But I mean, so you don't make it until like you just make it turn, or at the end of their turn.
Oh yeah.
So then you're just like, okay. So Ryan scryed to the bottom.
Oh, no turn 1 Thoughtseize this time.
Yep.
That's going to be trouble, I think.
So I think the only Infector that Jimmy has in hand, though, is the Viridian Corruptor. With no pump. Oh, there's a Blossoming Defense. Okay, and a Vines.
Yeah. Looks like I might have.
So I think Jimmy should probably just hold off on the Corruptor here. So he's just going to attack for 1.
What did we say?
How many removal spells does White Red Prison run? It plays 4 Lightning Helixes. That's all the removal it plays in the main deck. And that's because it plays Chalice on 1. So, if it wasn't for the fact that it played Chalice on 1, it would play more.
Yeah. But
that's all it actually plays. It's just the 4. And then it also plays Pyroclasms or Anger of the Gods, typically Anger of the Gods. Just because it's a little bit more versatile and it's really good against Dredge.
Yeah.
Dredge hasn't seen a whole much. I was surprised. After, Probe left, we lost a lot of Dredge.
Yeah, I didn't really think we would. I mean, I still personally don't think Dredge really got hit that bad by the bannings. But
right, so they lost Grave Troll and they lost Probe, but, I guess people were just like, yeah, I'm done with this, so.
Yeah,
well. So, because the prison deck plays the Chalice on 1, it doesn't play any paths or bolts. It's kind of counterintuitive for the deck to actually play those. So, it makes it a little bit difficult. Esper Charm.
Oh boy.
Well, that's fine.
Is he...
So he's choosing the
discard?
you discard
okay.
2 cards mode. So you probably just discard that cage, because I don't think it's very good here. And an extra land, because Jimmy is super flooded with lands.
Yeah. Still needs to find an actual Infect creature.
He has one in hand.
Oh,
it's
does he?
Corruptor.
Oh, man,
yep.
I can't see it at all.
Yep, so now he has pump spells and protection spells in his hand. So this game could be over within the next turn.
I got to take a look at that Viridian Corruptor because that's a fairly new one for me.
It's a 3-mana 2/2 that when it enters the battlefield, destroy a artifact.
Oh, okay.
So Jimmy has 2 Might of Old Corrosas, a Vine of Vastwood, and a Blossoming Defense in his hand.
Good Lord, what do you think of the new Might of Old Corrosa art?
I actually really, really like it.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I like it as much. Something about a giant rat coming over the trees is kind of cool.
All right, so there goes a counter squall. Jimmy loses 2, down to 17. There's another Might of Old Corrosa. Ryan's probably sure, you have another one.
That's gonna be
7. 7 Infect so far.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the clock unless he Vines kicks. And that's it.
And he scoops it up, man.
So
that is
we went from 0 Infect to 10 Infect. So
Infect.
So yeah, that was a pretty quick match. Do you want to try to find another one, Curtis, or do you want to call it?
Good question. I mean, I'm not opposed to prowling around to see if we can pick up another match if people want to stick around and keep watching, so.
Well, let's check our chats real quick and then see if...
Yeah.
Let's see. Can't check that one. I don't know how to... I don't know how that one works.
Facebook Live is scary and confusing.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how all of it works.
I'm
with
not
all
sure.
this new stuff. So, it looks like we're streaming to everything. I just can't tell all the chats. So, if you guys want to watch, see if we can find another round, we'll try to do that for you. If not, that'll be it for tonight. But we will come back and do a sign off if that is the case.
Looks like Scroggs. Looks like young Scroggs is watching on Facebook and calling me out for complaining.
Oh, well.
Young Scroggs, man, come on, dude. Come on, man.
All right, guys. So we are going to take a quick break, and if we find a match, we will come back and redo it and do the